I think we're actually already live though, huh? So if anybody joins, here we are. I'm not sure if we'll have anybody join right off the bat, but I will just be here. Hopefully folks will say stuff in the comments. If you're here, let me know in the comments, folks. We are still having a couple of just small technical difficulties, but we should be here. We should be going just in just a second. And my camera is crooked, which makes me look crooked. You don't want that. Hello, Kim.
Hi.
We are already live. We had some really interesting technical difficulties. Brandy, you there?
Yes, there we go.
Awesome. Yeah, we
My
had some really
speaker was
interesting technical difficulties. So we're going to be just a couple of minutes getting into this. Hopefully we'll have some folks be able to join us, even though the link is going to be wrong. We're just going to run with it anyway. Yay, technology.
We'll make it work.
We'll make it work. We'll absolutely make it work. Okay. So as we are just getting started here, hi, Anita. Just letting folks know we had some fun and other F words
I don't know if it's
getting in, but we are live. So we are already streaming. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to set up a couple of things and we'll get going.
Okay, sounds good.
on the Game Changer LinkedIn. It says this event will start soon, and I added Brandy's link to that comment. So maybe if people go there, they'll see that.
Brandy's.
Jump over this
Oh,
one.
okay.
The one I sent to join to participate
It's just for us.
is just for us. I commented on the LinkedIn Live one with the link to watch.
The link for other folks to participate. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's a great
today.
idea, Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those days. One of those days.
Okay.
It's okay.
It makes it more memorable.
It
Right?
absolutely does.
100 bad days make 100 good stories. That's my APR
That
reference for the
comment,
day.
Brandy.
100.
I don't see your comment. It's not showing up for me.
On the original event.
On the LinkedIn event, it just says it's starting soon.
There's not a. Did you put a comment under it?
Yeah, I just commented on the LinkedIn event.
Sometimes those comments take forever to show up.
Okay, I've got it. I can see the link if you had to refresh.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm going to.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yes. Always helpful.
So we've got. Sorry, I had to send somebody a quick note. Did we get? We've got folks joining.
We do.
Okay, awesome. So if you're there, please let us know. This has been an adventure trying to get this going. It's my fault. I didn't click a button I should have clicked, or I clicked a button I shouldn't have clicked. It was really great as a software tester, not so good when you're trying to set up software to do streaming, I guess.
All good.
All right. Brandy, does it give us I need to add our
presentation.
Add our presentation really quick. Since we're just a little bit more discombobulated than our standard. Let's grab this really quick. One way or another, we're going to make this happen.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mine has a little share screen button at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes, I could share screen, but I don't want to. I just want to upload this thing really quick, and it's not. 1 second. You guys talk about something interesting for half a second while I hurry and grab this.
Welcome, everyone. So excited that we have, big announcements for today. It's going to be fun.
It is. It is.
Just trust us, we'll get there.
That's right.
That's right. Right.
Would you believe, of course, PowerPoint now won't open on my computer.
Oh, of course. When it's something this big,
Right?
that's what's going on here, right? When it's a big
Yes.
deal sometimes,
No
Everything-
doubt we broke the internet. There's so many people here watching this. That's why nothing's working. We'll get there. We're overloading LinkedIn.
Okay, so real quick while I'm getting this to be where we need it to be.
Something this big, right? What's going on here?
Who's echoing?
Oh, we're echoing. Where are we echoing from?
Seems to have stopped. All right.
Somebody echo.
Yeah, I muted Kim and Anita and it stopped. And now it's not echoing with just Anita. Nope, there it is again. Okay. Sorry, ladies.
Okay. Brandy, why don't you take us away to tell us folks who we are and what we do, and I am going to get the presentation.
Okay. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we are Inclusive Agile, and we do training for individuals and organizations on really being inclusive with their team members. If you're familiar with Agile in the software development or business world, you'll understand that one of the key components of that is the constant feedback. And we have decided, or discovered, not decided, we've discovered that that part doesn't always get fully implemented because 9 times out of 10, you have someone on your team who feels alienated in some way, whether it's one woman on a development team or one autistic person, one person with ADHD. There's something going on that is causing them to not feel like they can speak up and give their feedback in those meetings. And so we approach our resolution to that, how we approach that is by building an inclusive system from the beginning so that you can get that feedback and make those people feel safe. We offer a psychologically safe feedback specifically course. We do one-on-one mentoring and coaching, again, for the individuals and for organizations. And we have a really exciting program to share with you today. So, Carissa.
Awesome. I'm just waiting for the slideshow to come up. But while it's doing that, we've, and some of the folks, if you're in the chat, let us know. Hopefully you're going to find us here. We've been talking to a lot of folks about this, but this is our official announcement of our Game Changer Neuro-Inclusive Networking event. We're going to be doing this as part of Utah Tech Week. And if you don't know what Utah Tech Week is, you're not alone. This is a newer kind of crowdsourced tech conference that's happening January 27th through February 1st. And we'll have some links to share in a bit for how you learn more about Utah Tech Week. But we are putting on an event as part of that conference, and it's going to be our Game Changer networking event. And welcome. We've said welcome 15 times now.
You're still welcome.
So today we're going to introduce the idea of Game Changer, what we're doing and why. We're going to walk through the experience. We're going to give you some links to register to attend or to volunteer as part of the group. And we'll be answering some FAQs and audience questions. And I do want to give a big shout out right off the bat to our partners and sponsors who are making this possible. Prague Foundation is Progressive Leasing's philanthropic arm. And they are our presenting sponsor. Also, huge shout out to Utah Agile, one of my other projects and loves. They're going to be co-hosting and helping us put on this event. And Tech Moms, we have a fun tie into Tech Moms that we'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute with the story of how this came to be. Zions Bank, we're going to be hosting. They're letting us use their space. Auticon, and the Autism Council of Utah, and the Motley Squad are all other groups that are supporting us. And Wired Differently is a podcast that my co-host Steve and I do that we're going to be doing during the event. We'll even have a little bit of podcasting going on. So these are all of our partners and sponsors to date. And with that, Brett, will you give us an intro to what Game Changer is?
Absolutely. So where this came from, we'll start with the background. We were working at a conference, an autism-based conference, about getting autism employment, being employed as an autistic person at Utah Valley University somewhat recently. And I was speaking on a panel for the HR people and autistic people and experiencing what it's like to get a job and deal with the job hunting world. And the questions always come up of how do you get jobs? How do you do these things? And the answer is always networking, especially now that we have all sorts of ways for thousands and thousands of people to apply for jobs. Networking is the most common way to stand out. And one of the attendees there asked us a question that was amazing and eye-opening for us. He said, my grandson's autistic, and he has a real hard time with these types of networking events. He won't be comfortable to go out and participate in these things because it's a really hard, overwhelming thing. He primarily spends time hanging out and playing Dungeons and Dragons with his friends. How do we help somebody like that? And so we unfortunately didn't have an answer at the time, but we spent quite a while thinking about it. And this is what we came up with is, why don't we just make the networking event what the autistic people would want to do? We're going to sit around and we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons. And so the idea is our event is designed for neurodivergent people to be able to network, to be able to have conversations with other people in an environment that is safe for them and supportive for them. This is a big deal for me because I can't go to normal networking conferences because I have an auditory processing disorder. I cannot filter out background noise. So if there are more than 3 people talking, I can't understand what's going on. When our organization is presenting at conferences, I show up, sit behind everyone, and just kind of wave whenever it looks like somebody says my name because I literally can't hear and understand what people are talking about. So we figure other people are dealing with that as well. And we came up with this idea of our Game Changer to help them out. Now let's talk about how this is actually going to work. The setup of our event here is we're going to have a bunch of different environments for people to get together and play games. And we're not going to have stressful situations like a bunch of booths with a bunch of businesses that you have to approach the booth and ask questions and initiate that conversation. We're just going to have people playing games and having fun. We're going to have puzzles. We're going to have board games. We're going to have Ticket to Ride. Everyone's excited about that one. And then we're going to let everyone wear a name tag, a badge that's going to give other people information. One of the things I'm most excited about is we're going to have something that says if you want to be approached or not, if you're comfortable with somebody coming up and asking you a question, or if you would prefer to be the one that asks the questions themselves. So we've got this set up to help neurodivergent people be supported in their needs in this type of networking event. One of the big things that we're going to be focusing on, and we'll want feedback and suggestions for other things, but one of the things they're keeping me specifically around for is the noise stuff. Since I am so sensitive to these noise issues, every step of the way, my team's talking to me saying, are we concerned about noise here? How are we going to address noise there? And so this is one of the reasons why we want people to understand what's coming up and how we're working through all of this is we need more feedback. We want to hear from people who have experienced sensitivities, have had challenges with these types of events before, and to let us know what might have helped you feel a little better, what might have made the registration process easier for you, what might have made you feel more comfortable approaching and having those conversations. We're starting off with games. We're going to have a quiet room so that when you get overstressed, you can go and you don't have to worry about anybody talking. And then I have specifically for me requested a kind of quiet room where if you want to talk to somebody, but you can't handle conversations with more than 3 people talking at the same time, you can go into the kind of quiet room, talk quietly, and have those conversations you wouldn't be able to have otherwise. So that is how we're going about doing this. Let's talk about the specifics. Steve, I believe. Yes.
I'm going to talk about the location and the timing. So first, this is from on January 31st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Yes, this is a longer event. We do recognize that that's a very long event, and that can be a little intimidating for a lot of us. However, we don't expect everyone to come and stay for the entire 5 hours. Come and go as you need to and as you're able, and we'd love to have you for any and as much of it as you're able to join us for. We are going to be at the Zions Technology Center in Midvale, and we have some really cool pictures here coming up, along with a very brief map. We will have a more detailed map as well as a video walkthrough of the location coming. That'll be emailed out to those who have gone ahead and registered for the event. Sorry, Carissa, we're both changing slides. Go for it. There we go. So we have this great big huge game area in the yellow that you can see, and we've got our pathway in, and you can see from the top to the bottom, that's kind of the entryway to the building, what you're going to see right as you walk in, and then we've got the map for the layout. So we're very excited to have this space and looking forward to having everyone there. You will note on the map that those quiet rooms aren't designated yet. We are still possibly looking at changing the layout just a little bit so that we can make sure that we have those really good and quiet and ready for everyone.
Excellent. Want to talk a little bit about the flow and the agenda itself. So if we go to the next slide here. All right. So for lunch, just so you are aware, there's going to be a box lunch is essentially what we're going to do. And then there'll be snacks all throughout the day. And there will actually be a presentation done where it'll talk briefly about neurodiversity and the importance of inclusive networking, kind of setting the stage. Then we'll have an introduction to the tabletop role-playing games that we'll be doing. And we'll have a walkthrough of the event format and the activities. And as we go to the next slides here, you'll get an idea of the different kind of games and networking events that we'll have. So we'll have around 2 to 4 open gaming tables that we have available. We'll have, role-playing games, card games, board games, and like was mentioned, we'll also have those quiet breakout rooms. If you need to go network or if you need to, again, just have some downtime and away time. And this gaming session will last from like 12 to 4 p.m. If we go to the next slide, I think we have some other games that are available. Magic the Gathering might be one that I'll do. I've never done before. And Ticket to Ride, I'm actually pretty good at that one. And so again, these are just different ways that you can play and in a low-key, non-stressful environment, be able to get to know others and connect and network. All right, let's go to the next slide here.
All right, this is actually Brett.
as much as we would all prefer to hear from Carissa, our objectives here for this want to make sure that those are clear for everyone that's hearing about this. We want to make sure we're creating an inclusive environment for neurodivergent individuals. We really want people who have struggled to have this kind of interaction to come and be able to enjoy it. We want to facilitate this networking through these interactive games, and sometimes through quiet games, because sometimes, you know what, that's what we need. And most importantly, we really want to connect people. We want to connect those that are hiring and those that are looking for jobs so that we can continue to develop and continue fixing the problem of the current job market, where networking is the only solution to getting a job. Let's get our neurodivergent people taken care of for that. Our commitments for how we're going to go about that: for our attendees, for the people that are showing up here, we're going to make sure that we minimize the sensory and social overload as much as possible. We do plan on having a couple hundred people there, so there's going to be some, but we're going to do whatever we can to mitigate that and to give them spaces for people to go and decompress when they need to. We're going to be working with our hiring partners and recruiters, making sure that they understand what it means to interact with neurodivergent people and how to help neurodivergent people feel safe and not feel targeted or not be put in situations that might be uncomfortable for them, and generate these real opportunities for interaction. And then we're going to have a volunteer group. We're looking for volunteers. We'll be talking about that very shortly, where we're going to have our volunteers there to make sure that they're supporting groups. They're going to be organizing these things for an engaging environment. And we're going to be able to create connections to Inclusive Agile, our organization, and the neurodivergent community that we want to serve as a whole. And these are the things that we want to make sure we get out of this, the people that attend get out of this. This is the benefits. Let's talk about how you can help.
There. Am I unmuted now? Can you all hear me? I hope. My name's Anita Broccolino, and I am super excited to share with everyone how you can actually participate. We've put the link here on the screen, but you can actually just use the QR code that's over in the corner of the screen as well to register. Please note, this is a really important point. If you register for Utah Tech Week, because this is part of Utah Tech Week and part of all of the different events happening, you do not automatically register for Game Changer. That is a really key thing to note. We ask a bunch of additional questions that are very important. So to officially register for Game Changer, please use the links that we've provided here, and that will be sent out. And of course, there are many other beautiful Tech Week events going on that we hope that you'll join in as well. Another way that you can participate is if you are a hiring manager, you are the HR director, manager, or recruiter, we do invite you to join us. We would ask that you identify yourself as such so that we know that you're coming, and we want to be clear with that as well. Of course, we would love for anyone and everyone to sponsor the event. Why? Because Inclusive Agile is a nonprofit. And so we do rely on donations and sponsorships to continue to do the work that we've been doing, and our very exciting and innovative new program here of Game Changers. All proceeds that we have from this event, I think it's really important, as it notes on the screen, they will be providing coaching, career coaching, and for neurodivergent individuals, as well as for the hiring companies. So it's really important. Another way you can participate is to donate some in-kind or some swag, prizes, items, 1 or 200. Again, keep in mind, we have a limited attendance. We can only accommodate up to 200 people. We are expecting this to be sold out. and therefore it is very important to register as soon as possible. If you're not interested in playing the games, but you still want to be there and you still want to participate, here are a few other ways. You can see them listed, but we always need volunteers. Volunteers are a backbone of almost any nonprofit, and we do rely on your support in that way as well. So if you can come help us out, maybe you want to play for a couple of hours and then volunteer. So, know that there are many ways. They're listed on the screen. Of course, we need folks who can get out there and help us find donations and sponsors. You can always talk to me about that. I think we'll be giving you our email addresses, but in case not mine, if you're interested in sponsoring especially or helping with that part, mine is Anita, ANITA, at inclusiveagile.io. And then that will be answering questions in a moment. So I'm going to let our folks take it away from here, but please join us. We hope you'll be there. Hope to meet you.
Awesome. Let's bring everybody back in. I do just want to say thanks to the team here. Having some technical difficulties getting started there. I'm hoping that folks, if they weren't able to find us, we will send out links to this video afterwards. Hopefully that part of it worked. It will be saved afterwards. And we will be doing more information sessions as it gets closer. We'd like to do a full walkthrough of the space and give a lot more details about what games are going to be available and how to request your preferred games, more information about the flow of the day. All of that will be coming, and we will have that probably mid-January, all of that information available. I do want to send another just huge thank you to all of the sponsors and partners who are making this possible. It's been amazing, the kind of response and positivity that folks have around this idea. Honestly, this is great for neurodivergent folks, but I don't think anyone really loves networking. Right? Anybody want to raise their hand and say that they just love networking? Yeah. I don't care. I play an extrovert on TV, but I'm really not one. So I feel like this format's going to be amazing for anyone. That's one of the points that we make a lot here, is that when you make something inclusive, it doesn't just benefit the neurodivergent or disabled folks, it benefits everyone to have this kind of an event. One of the things I'm most excited about this format is it'll allow for deeper conversations and connections. So instead of a speed dating format for networking, you'll be able to have a little bit longer time with individuals, understand their communication styles if you're from the recruiter side or from the hiring manager side, get to know people's personalities in a relaxed way. And then also, be able to follow up from that as folks are comfortable with opportunities and further connections. So what questions do we have? I know we had a couple of frequently asked questions that we wanted to go over as a group. Do we have any questions from our audience? And since we made it so that our audience couldn't find us, that might be a bit of a struggle.
We'll give y'all a couple of minutes.
Yeah, one of the things, and we are just about at time, we'll try to end pretty close to time, even though we were just a few minutes late getting going. One of the things that has come up as a question is, do I need to come for the whole time? And the answer is no. We went over that at the beginning, but I want to reiterate that we wanted to allow for enough time for this to not be rushed, for people to be able to really talk. So we've allowed for, and if we have some longer role-playing games, then, those are going to take more than 15 to 20 minutes. It might be up to an hour to 2 hours, for a round of a game. So we do want this to be relaxed and that kind of slow interaction environment. So come for all of it or come for an hour, either way. What other kind of things have come up in conversation quite often, folks?
Food.
We decided if people can bring their own games.
Oh, I'm open to
Great.
that option, but we would need to know in advance.
Yeah.
Because we do, and if folks, especially as we're talking about volunteers, if you are a skilled dungeon master or game master of any game and you are very passionate about it and would love to come and share that, please let us know. We'd love to have any and all participants doing that.
Will there be quiet rooms and spaces?
There will be
Why-
quiet
why,
rooms and
yes.
spaces. Hopefully I won't be curled up in the corner of one of them by the time we get to the event.
Need to invest in a couple dozen weighted blankets.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've talked about a little bit is we want to have a good mix of people who are job seekers, people who are currently in tech roles, and people who are recruiters or hiring managers. So if you want to come with a friend and you want to stay with that friend at your table, you need to let us know, because we would like to mix folks up to the comfort level. So that's a thing that we've been asked a little bit, is how are we going to get people mixed, and how long will you get to spend with individuals. It'll depend on what kind of games you choose and your comfort level as well. So we intend to have on the lanyards, you'll get a lanyard when you come. We intend to have some buttons that letting people know if you're a recruiter, if you're looking for a job, if you prefer not to be contacted unless you contact first. All of those kind of signaling questions or points on your lanyards. Yeah, what else, guys?
How about food? Is there gonna be food?
Let's
There's
talk
gonna be
about
food.
food.
Go ahead,
We're
Brandy.
going to have a box lunch style lunch, and we are doing that so that those of us that aren't comfortable being there right at the beginning can get there a little late, and there's still going to be something left for you. That's part of why we are asking you to register through our link, to help us get those dietary restrictions and make sure that that's all covered. We are also going to have snacks and beverages available throughout the day, and those will just be in the main area for any of our attendees to come get as they need.
And since we're doing this in Zion's Technology Center, there is an option. I mean, it's their cafeteria is right there as well. So if you have an emergency need for some sort of caffeinated beverage that we do not have on hand, there will be options. So
Yes.
okay.
Carissa, if someone can't make the date, will there be other opportunities, other game changer events?
I hope to do one at least once a quarter. We are even thinking that if we do sell out on this, we might do a second event earlier in the week for Tech Week. So if you cannot come on that day, but you're still interested, thank you, Kim, for that question. Please let us know. And we'll see what kind of interest there is and when we can schedule another event.
And I'll just throw in here at the end one more time, it is free to attend for the job seekers, and some of the hiring managers as well. But we really are looking for support from various companies that are not only in Utah but anywhere, who would like to get the word out about who they are and what they're doing and what they're looking for by way of new hires. Right.
Yeah, and if I'm really excited about this event. I think this will change the way I think about networking events, and that's why it's a game changer. I just thank Anita for coming up with that. We say I sometimes joke about it because it's a used term, but it's such a good term. I'm hoping we get to expand this outside of the the local Utah area, and we get to host these for folks in other areas as well. So
we're already
seriously,
getting
let
requests.
us-
We're getting requests for that already, Chris. I've had a few people I've spoken to about this, and they're like, "Why is it only going to happen in Utah?"
Brilliant.
So we're ready. We're ready to take it around the country.
We are. So if you're in another area and want us to bring Game Changer to you, please reach out and let us know.
Okay, so we let's wrap that up then, and thank you all. Thanks all to for your patience as we got going, and we will talk to you again soon.
Go talk to people about this. Go tell them it's coming. Bring more friends.
Yes.
I'm excited. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks
Bye.
everyone